place and like stab you or
yeah. But another thing to think about is girls, since they're like 13, they start going to an OB. So that, they're getting examined, every now and then. So they're kind of used to people poking and prodding into that, where we only get physicals, and that's the weirdest thing that happens to us
when we play sports.
Nobody's fingering our assholes or anything. Not yet. Until we're not like yet. 40.
Even then, they're not putting little devices in there.
And even then,
permanently.
I'll tell them to whisper sweet nothings in my ear.
And then you whisper right back.
He's like, "Hey, big boy, I'll put my finger in your bung bung."
I would love if my doctor talked to me like that instead of, it'd be funny. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Two Guys Talking and Not Being Interesting. And we're not experts in any field. We don't know anything, but we just sit here and talk to each other like we're best buds. And then, you can look in on our lives.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, I like listening to these two guys that talk about nothing but themselves.
These guys just talk about themselves. I want to join in.
Yeah. You can be a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
In our little room.
If you'd like.
All right, so episode 2 of Nick Baby Daddy.
Yep.
Nick has impregnated a female human.
Makes it sound so bad.
It was on purpose, in a relationship, not an act, not like a one-night stand with a giraffe.
No.
It was human.
No. It was unexpected, I'll say that. But
unexpected, but on purpose, right?
We had already talked about,
because,
if that happened.
Was she on birth control?
She was on birth control.
What kind?
She was on the pill.
Sue them. Oh, she forgot to take it.
No, it was, I think it might have been a cycle where she was on her period.
She's playing you like a fiddle, homie.
Yeah, maybe.
Forgot to take it.
Either way, I'm getting a kid out of it, so I don't care. But I mean, like, I'm not upset about it at all. I've always wanted to have a kid. I've never felt that I was ready to, and I feel like this, because I feel like you're never going to feel like I'm absolutely ready now.
Yeah.
The only way you can really feel that is financially, and even if you're like the most rich dude in the world, thinking about having a kid would be like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to go to these business meetings because I have a child. I'm going to have to take care of it. You're still going to stress out about something, is what my point is. So, if you want to have a kid, you think that you're ready for it or whatever, and you're in love and you're going to be with that person for the rest of your life, go for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's different for everybody.
Yeah. And it's all on how you feel about it, man.
Like my sister got pregnant this year.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
On purpose.
I totally forgot about that. And then once our pregnancy happened, I forgot that Shayla was pregnant. And then I saw her post something about her stomach, and I was like, oh yeah. It seems like everybody's pregnant right now.
It's crazy. And then Lily's college roommate, who's one of her best friends, is about to pop with her second baby.
Oh man.
She's fat.
Yeah.
9 months pregnant.
Yeah, big old belly.
Big old belly. She's about to have another one. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but she has a boy already that's 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, kids is a weird thing, dude, because it's weird. Some people want them and some people don't.
Yeah.
And I've never felt like I wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
You've always even since high school, you've always said you wanted them.
Yeah.
So it's weird that I don't know why I don't feel that way.
I'll tell you something else that I experienced probably maybe 2 years ago, but it was the first time I ever contemplated not growing up, being married, and having children. And I actually thought about that, what happens if I grow old by myself? Will I be happy? Will I be okay with that?
No marriage or
and
children?
And just contemplated that for a long time, because you know what it was? It was that almost a year when I was single, and I was just kind of doing my own thing for almost a year.
Yeah.
It was during that time of because I had dated people, and immediately I was like, no, I'm not ready for dating. And it just made me start thinking maybe I'm not supposed to date somebody. Maybe I'm not supposed to be in a relationship. And I was thinking about all these things, and then I was dating people. dated the wrong people, made me think that way a little bit more. And then I started dating Lael, and then I'm like, well, no, I think this is the life for me, man. This has been what I've always wanted.
I feel like most people do want a life partner.
Yeah.
Kids is a lot different. I feel like majority of people do want either a long-term girlfriend or like a wife.
Yeah.
I think we're just like built like penguins, like we mate for life type of thing.
Yeah, I think it's human nature to want to be together.
Yeah. I think a lot of guys want sexual relationships with multiple women.
Yeah.
But even those guys want a main chick
Yeah.
that they like share their life with type of thing.
Which is that, like, the fuckboy mentality it's really stupid, and I know that young men don't think about that. All they're thinking about is getting pussy and, fucking all these chicks and all this stuff. But in the long term, man, I think being a fuckboy is stupid, because if you fuck a bunch of people, chances are you're going to get an STD. And chances are you're going to get one that fucking keeps coming back, and then you're going to have that. And you're going to, like, every single person you have sex with or whatever, you're going to have to explain that to them. Or they get it without you telling them, and then they're going to sue you or whatever. Yeah. I don't even know what happens with, like, what would happen if a guy had herpes and he had sex with another girl and he didn't tell her, and she ended up getting herpes.
If you know about it, you can be sued, I think, financially, and it might be a crime. I think it's a crime.
That's interesting, because how could you...
You'd have to prove that he knew it. So, like, if he has doctor results saying he had herpes...
And that's another thing, is herpes can be dormant.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And then if the doctor says, like, yeah, I told him, he knows, they would have to, like, prove that. You'd have to get a subpoena for medical records type of thing.
Yeah. Pull out his medical... Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, so you definitely get in trouble. But if there's no record, then it's just like an accident. Like, he fucked 10 chicks in a week, and one of them gave it, and then he gave it to the next one.
Yeah, just playing telephone with herpes.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Is it? Herpes.
It is herpes. Hello, I'm here now forever.
Just say Hershey's, come in.
Come in.
No, it's not Hershey's.
Oh no, it's not Hershey's. Oh, damn it.
That's why telephone sucks, because you hear,
Yeah, so I don't know. That's just kind of my take about that, which, I mean, I'm fucking being a hypocrite about that. I've had times in my life where I was sleeping around with people and just dating and not doing anything serious and didn't want anything serious, which is also, like, not a bad thing. Not wanting something serious isn't a bad thing, I don't think. It's just more of the fact of you got to be working on yourself. Like, I don't know. I'm going to go into a fucking spiral with that.
You're going to, like, motivational time.
Yeah.
This is how you should live, boys.
Yeah. The reason why I go into that mode is because I wish 5 years ago I could talk to myself and be like, dude, don't go down this fucking path that you're about to go down.
It's funny. I feel like everyone, once you figure things out in life, you wish you could go back and tell yourself. And then you realize you can't. So then you want to tell younger men.
Yeah, I know. And then you're like, listen to me, I'm wise. Yeah, but they're not you, though. So
Lily's little brother, she has like an 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 13-year-old. Yeah. And like every time I get alone with them, I just want to like tell them things. Yeah. I'm like, don't do this, do this. Don't get into debt. Yeah. If you're an idiot, which you all are, I'm like, don't go to college, because unless you have a specific route, you want to take, I'm like, otherwise, probably just go to trade school or figure out some kind of business, because you're not that brainiac.
Dude, you know what I just thought of? That's called being a dad. Yeah. That's like literally what being a dad is.
Yeah, you get to tell your younger self things. Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of people have kids before they're ready, and they fuck that up.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. I just feel like a huge thing should be you feel mentally ready and like mentally mature enough to do it. If you're mentally mature enough to do it, then I feel like that's one of the biggest things to do, because you're going to be okay with yourself getting frustrated and all these things are going to happen. But as long as you can sit back and like look at it with a fucking, cool demeanor, then it's going to be okay. As like, I don't know, dude, I keep going in spirals.
But how do you know if you're ready? Like, okay, you never will feel completely ready. But there's definitely some people I've seen have babies, and you're like, you're not ready to even wipe your own butt.
Oh, but those are mostly, I would say, narcissistic people that
Or just idiots.
usually narcissistic people are.
It depends.
Yeah.
There's actually not a ton of people with narcissistic personality disorder. You know, there are some out there.
Well, I'm saying narcissistic as in you're a selfish person, not 100% a narcissist. But like,
I would say they're just idiots.
Yeah, it's a guy that was an idiot and was like, I want to get my wiener wet and I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then you do what you're going to do. And now you have to pay for a child because you don't want to be in its life. That was pretty fucking stupid of you. But
yeah, that happens a lot. I feel like it might be happening less in our generation than our parents' generation, because I feel like in our parents' generation, like we all had cousins.
Yeah.
Like there was like everyone, all your parents' friends had kids.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, people are finally starting to have kids, but we're like almost 30.
Yeah. But the other thing is with that, I think it's because there's so many preventative measures now. Like you got the IDs, the pill, you got all these things you can prevent it with.
They're more easily accessible.
Very easy. Yeah. But it's the other thing about that is like with that, it doesn't mean this is your magic pill to go fucking be a slut. This is just be protective.
It could be.
It can
but
be,
still,
but
like
I don't think that's a good way to think about it.
Well, I don't get
in my opinion, I guess.
I guess that is it. Probably is why there's less pregnancies now. Is because there's way more access to birth control and maybe more education. Because when our parents were young, they're like 19, 18, 19. There was like not really. You could get birth control, but you would have had to tell your parents.
And birth control was a lot scarier back then.
And it was like pills.
Yeah, it was only pills.
Yeah, and pills are probably the least effective because you got to remember to take them.
Yeah.
That's the least effective
And
one.
even if you do, they're still only 90% effective.
90?
90.
That's crap. Lily has a thing in her arm. That's
Yeah,
like...
the IUDs are the way to go, for sure.
IUD. Lily has... That's not an IUD. IUD is up in your vagina.
Well, yeah, but I thought there was two different ones. There's the one that goes in your arm.
There's two different IUDs. So they're both up in your vagina.
Oh.
One is hormonal, one is non-hormonal.
Oh, okay.
But IUDs are both.
So you could have your period or not period?
They're like those T-shaped things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go in your uterus?
Yeah. They might impact. I'm guessing the hormonal
We need to have a woman on the
I know what they all are.
Podcast.
And then the one in Lily's arm is a hormone. It's like a little stick. It's like a tiny little glow stick.
Yeah.
And they like inject it into your arm. And it's good for 3 years.
You know what's crazy to me? Is I've talked to girls about both of those options, and girls are more scared of the arm one than the uterus one.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It seems like, at least, and because they hear horror stories. I've never heard what these horror stories are, but a lot of girls I've heard, they're like, I'd much rather do the uterus one, which is crazy to me because in my perspective, and you're probably thinking the same thing, is that sounds way more painful to get in.
Yeah.
Right?
Or just scary just to have in there. You would think it might fall out of place and like stab you. Or
yeah. But another thing to think about is girls, since they're like 13, they start going to an OB. Yeah. So that, they're getting examined, every now and then. So they're kind of used to people poking and prodding into that, where we only get physicals, and that's the weirdest thing that happens to us
when we play sports.
Nobody's fingering our assholes or anything. Not yet. Until we're not like yet. 40.
Even then, they're not putting little devices in there.
And even then,
permanently.
I'll tell them to whisper sweet nothings in my ear.
And then you whisper right back.
He's like, "Hey, big boy, I'll put my finger in your bung bung."
I would love if my doctor talked to me like that instead of. It'd be funny.
I'd be like, "Stop! You're making me laugh." He's like, "It's hard to put my finger in your ass."
You're laughing and your butthole's like winking.
He's like, "Stop clenching."
You're making me laugh.
Oh my god, that would be so funny. Okay, but onto the parent topic. Yeah. Did you have questions?
I wrote questions. They have to do with a couple things.
Okay, a couple things.
Okay. Living with Leia. So she has her own apartment right now, right?
Yes.
Is she clean?
Yes.
Yeah.
She is. And I'll tell you what, and I hope he doesn't watch this, but I do not like the way her dad cleans.
Oh, they live together?
He's living with her right now.
Okay.
We'll just say that. And I'm not going to dive too into that because that's just, it's all a can of worms.
You don't like the way he cleans, or he does not clean?
He cleans. He just cleans in an old school way that's kind of lazy. Like stacking dishes in the sink and letting them soak. and that cleans them.
That doesn't clean them.
Mm-mm. And he just does certain
Wait, he just
things.
soaks them and then takes them out and puts them back?
No, like he scrubs them in the soap water, right?
Yeah.
But like you have a dishwasher.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you scrub it first, then you put it in the dishwasher.
Yeah, you can rinse it if you want, but put it in the dishwasher, right? Or if you're gonna clean it thoroughly.
Yeah,
you know,
with soap and running water, not sitting water.
Yeah, you got to rinse it and then maybe soap it again if there's still crap on it, whatever. You know, I don't know, but just the way he does that kind of grosses me out. It's also like he organizes things that she doesn't want him organizing. So like she lost a cap to her water bottle and hadn't seen it for months.
Yeah.
And found it the other day, and it was in the junk drawer.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why the fuck is a cap in the junk drawer?
Yeah.
When there's water bottles with the same caps in this cabinet, and you could have just put it in that cabinet.
That sounds like everyone that lives together.
Yeah.
Like if...
And it might be a little nitpicky, and there's also like other stuff that I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just irritating. But for what you're asking, yeah, the way, like when I first went into her apartment, clean as whistle. She's one of the most organized or clean women that I've seen besides like Lily.
Yeah.
She's not like insane clean freak, which that's how my Aunt Ree is. She's like, if there's a fucking speck of dust, you better
like
fucking sweep it
like
now.
every 2 days.
Yeah.
That type of shit.
Nah, she does. I mean, it's a weekly cleaning for sure. So we sweep and mop every weekend because people come over usually every weekend or something.
That's good.
You know,
there's nothing more gross than a dirty girl.
And we have talked about chores already. We've talked about chores.
That's good. That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, because I was like, this is how I do dishes. I'm very particular about dishes. I don't like dishes in the sink. The sink is meant to be the sink, not a place for dishes. You know, I get using one side of the sink for the dishes that can't fit in the dishwasher right away. That's fine. But once that happens, make the transition.
Yeah.
You know, whoever's doing dishes right then, make the transition. It's not hard.
You do dishes once a day? Or
the funny thing is, I haven't done dishes in so long. So that's going to be like another wake-up call for me.
Right?
Aaron does them because he's also particular about how he does dishes, which is fine. It would either be him doing dishes all the time or me doing dishes all the time, which he wanted to take that one. I was like, cool, that's fine. But it's that clothes on the floor also bothers me, which she kind of does a little bit. And I've talked to her about it. And I was like, I'm going to make sure you got to have a hamper.
Yeah.
And if you need another one, I will get you another one. You'll have 2 hampers.
2 hampers.
I was like, I don't care how many hampers you need, but I don't want clothes on the floor.
Right.
And she doesn't exactly do that. She does it in her closet, so you can't really see it. She doesn't do it in her room. But one thing her dad does that also irritates me is he will take her clothes out of the dryer for no reason. There's no reason to take them out of the dryer. He's not doing laundry. He will just take them out of the dryer and put them on her bed.
That's annoying.
Not full in a pile.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? Like, it's going to be all wrinkly. All your clothes are going to be wrinkly. They're probably like, they need to be aired out still a little bit. Like if they're still damp, now they're going to smell like mildew because they've been balled together.
I just take them out if he's not going to do
That's
laundry.
what I'm saying, dude. I don't understand why he does that, and it frustrates the shit out of me.
Because you leave them in the dryer, and if they sit there for a while, you run it a little while to get them unwrinkled, and then you hang them up.
Yeah, you fluff them up. Everybody fluffs.
Yeah.
You got to fluff your clothes, dude.
Otherwise, you got to go back and dry them all again.
Yeah, literally, she has to take her clothes and throw them back in the dryer.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck was the point of this? But yeah, but we have talked a lot about that stuff, and yeah, I think we're going to be pretty good on that part. I don't think there's going to be any.
That's
and
good.
Aiden's 6 now, so I'm thinking about starting to get him doing chores of like cleaning his own bathroom because he already cleans his own room.
I'd get him doing everything. 6? He's basically a man.
He's 6. He doesn't know how to tie his shoes yet. All right,
He doesn't know how to tie his shoes.
That's a thing that I was.
Are you kidding me?
I was talking to Aaron about this the other day, and I remember learning how to tie my shoes when I was 5.
Yeah, I think I was 4 or 5.
Specifically
Yeah.
because I was in kindergarten, and it was in class when I learned how to do it.
I learned a while before that.
Yeah. But he has
6
Velcro shoes.
Dude,
And
he wears Velcro to school. She lets him do that?
dude,
He's
kids
going to get picked on.
Here's the thing. kids older than him, most kids older than him, like 8, 9,
Yeah.
have Velcro shoes.
What?
It's a thing now.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe just like laziness from the parents. But like, wait, are the older kids wearing Velcro because they can't tie their shoes? No.
I'm telling you, dude. It's a
So,
weird thing.
Okay, what kind of weird... Okay, so are these just shitty ass parents?
I don't know.
Dude, there's no way
I don't
you're
know.
a good parent if your kid's 8 and can't tie their shoe.
Honestly, and I've talked to Lael about it, and she said she's tried to teach him, but he's ADHD, so it's really hard to teach him anything.
You could teach him.
But that's why I was like, let me do it. I'll do
6.
it. I'll take this one on. We'll get him some shoes. We'll get him some good shoes that he likes, and he is like into style. He likes certain clothes. He likes certain shoes. And I was like, cool. We'll go to frickin' Target. He can pick out the shoes. They have to have laces. And if they have laces, I will teach him how to tie them. And we're going to throw the other shoes away.
Yeah. You could teach a 6-year-old.
And it's going to take
tying shoes.
It's going to take time, you know. You're not going to perfect it overnight.
It'll probably take
but
2 days.
He'll figure it out. But the other thing is, and I think it's going to help with this habit. He takes his shoes off all the time and then wants to run into the backyard. When he comes inside, he thinks it's time to take your shoes off. But when he runs back out, he doesn't want to put his shoes back on.
Mm.
So I'm like, dude, keep your shoes on. Just keep your shoes on. That's fine. Like, I'm not the guy that does the like clean carpet rule where you have to take them off at the door. I'm like, there's kids running around. I don't really care. I clean all the time anyways. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with tile.
Yeah.
But like shoes on carpet.
That's gonna be a hard thing with
That's
kids,
dirty.
man. That's gonna be a really hard thing.
That's
with
why I
kids.
don't have any kids.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm like warning you about everything I can.
I already know. I've thought of all these things, and that's why I don't have kids.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing, and it's definitely not for everyone, I don't think. And I mean, even for the people that want it, love it, and breathe like that lifestyle, it's still hard. It's still hard for anyone that does that, man. Parenthood is not easy.
Everyone. So unless you can get a nanny, then it's still probably kind of hard.
And then you're probably not a good parent, though, because then you're never in their life.
Be. No, because you could just have the nanny there always to help you. But if you're also there always, that's like some real rich person shit.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just saying.
That would be cool.
Like,
I was thinking more like on what's that old show, The Nanny, with that like New York nanny that took care of the and the dad's never home.
They're never home.
Yeah.
I'm saying like if you were like uber rich, right? The dad's like wealthy. The mom's a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
Also has a nanny
Yeah.
to help with everything.
Yeah.
Then it would make it easier on you, and you still always be there for the kid.
Yeah. If I mean, like, all I would really need, I feel like, is like a house cleaner. If somebody did my chores for me, then it would a million times easier.
So you need like an assistant. Nanny's clean, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that would help.
That'd be cool.
Have you thought of any baby names? Do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
No, not yet. The gender reveal will be in March, and you're invited.
Oh, cool. So so you're not gonna know, right? Like someone, Lael's friend or something, is gonna find out and then put it together?
So we're all gonna go there. We're gonna talk to the doctor. We're gonna tell him that we're doing a gender reveal, so don't tell us. Put it in. I think they give the person like an envelope or something, and it says in there, and that she won't tell us. I don't know what kind of fucking kumbaya shit she's gonna do, but then it'll be fucking pink or blue. But I lost my freaking train of thought.
Baby names.
We have talked about baby names, and so we were kind of set on 2 of them. We kind of have a girl and a boy, but we're kind of thinking we might change the girl one up a little bit. The boy name, I think I might have told
Brendan
you.
and Lily, probably.
Yeah, that's weird. That's so weird that you brought that up. The boy name, and everybody is always like, "Oh, you mean like Drake's son?" When I fucking say this.
What's Drake's? I don't even know Drake's son's name.
His name is Adonis, and that's not who I'm naming him after. It would be after the Greek mythos.
Adonis?
Adonis in Greek mythology was the most handsome man that ever roamed the planet.
I think
and the gods fought over him.
If he comes out like a jacked black guy, that'll work for him.
Adonis. I'd be like, what? You know,
but if he's dorky,
hi, I'm Adonis.
Yeah, exactly.
No, because then here's the thing with Adonis. If Adonis doesn't
What's her
suit
other
him,
kid's name?
Aiden. That's why I was thinking.
That's like really close.
Well, I was thinking 2A names would be kind of cool.
Yeah, but Aiden and Adonis, they're like almost the same.
Aiden, Adonis. Aiden, Adonis, get over here.
Aiden, Adon.
But you could always call Adonis Donnie.
Yeah.
You can nickname him.
But don't you have a friend that's like an idiot that's named Donnie?
Yeah, and that was the other thing. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. Oh, man. Which he's actually doing really good now. He's kind of turned his life around, so
Like
I'm glad for him.
Doesn't live on the streets anymore.
Like he has his own house that he's renting, and he's going to church now. He's not doing stupid shit anymore.
Well, he's going to church. He's got it all figured out.
Yeah, right. I know. It's always been kind of like that with him, but.
What about the girl name?
The girl name, okay, so Adonis Nicholas Bartholomew for the boy. Because in my family, it's always been the dad's name is the middle name. Mm-hmm. That's been since I can.
What's your
I don't even
name?
know. My dad's name's David.
Nicholas David?
Yep. And his middle name is Richard, and my grandpa's middle name is Franklin.
David Dick?
Trying to get this David Dick.
David Dick Bartholomew.
I'm David Dick Bartholomew. But girl name, we picked out Sailor Elizabeth Bartholomew.
Sailor?
Sailor, yeah.
Who was coming up with these? You or her?
We're both kind of so okay. I'm gonna be 100% honest
I don't want to
with you on
shit
this.
on your names. But.
No, you're good. You're good. I actually really like Sailor. I really like Sailor, but we are both very different with name picking.
Uh-huh.
She likes the like open vowel names, kind of like Ava, Aria, those kind of names. I'm not so keen on those. I like more, especially with a girl. I'm like, there's very few names that I've heard that I like. The other one was Jessie. And even now, I'm kind of like pulling away from that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
but Sailor is one of the only ones that I'm like, that's a good name, and I can see myself having a daughter named Sailor. Yeah.
I just think of Sailor Moon, which I don't even know what that is. I know it's like a cartoon.
It's an anime.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if she was a Sailor Moon.
Yeah. But
she'd have powers.
Yeah, names are hard.
Names are really hard,
They're
man.
so hard because a lot of names suck.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. You think of it's funny is I actually like the name Lael.
Really?
I really like her name.
That's crazy.
And then I like the name Leilani.
Yeah.
But Lily won't let me have either of those.
You know what's funny is I kind of liked the name Layla.
Layla's a good
but
name.
it's so close to Lael. I'm
That's
like,
true.
that would be fucked up if I did that. And Lael's would never let me do that probably.
That's
so
true. I don't think Lily will let me do that, but that's a good one, Layla.
Yeah.
I like that because Layla Hormozy, you know who that is? You know Alex Hormozy?
No.
He's like a super genius entrepreneur guy.
Okay.
And his wife is also, her name's Layla. But if I ever have a kid, maybe she'll let me go with Layla because it's like Lily and Shayla.
Dude, don't forget that.
Yeah.
Don't forget that, just in case you have a kid.
I won't forget it. I know Layla Hormozy, but Lily, I don't know, because in the past she said she wouldn't do like, because we've talked about baby names, even though we don't really want kids.
Yeah.
But we've thought, like she wanted to have like a B name for a boy and an L name for the girl. And I'm like, but you shoot down Layel and Leilani.
Yeah.
But she said Leilani sounds too like Hawaiian. And we're not Hawaiian. But I'm like, we are like brown though. Like our kid probably will look kind of like a hot Hawaiian girl.
What about Leia?
Leia? Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember if I ever brought that one up.
That's Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars.
That'd be kind of cool. I always thought, like, as a kid, I would, like, for kid names in my brain was always like, what's Superman's name? Clark Kent. Clark's a good name.
Yeah, Clark.
Luke Skywalker. Luke's a good name, you know?
Yeah, Luke's a good name.
Yeah.
Luke.
Han Solo is a really cool name, but I don't think I would ever name my kid Han.
No, you got to be Asian.
You know? Yeah, that's not Asian thing. That's a Korean thing.
Which is funny because Han Solo is like a white dude.
Yeah, right? He's like, Han Solo.
He's like one of the legit white dudes.
If you knew nothing about Star Wars and you hear Han Solo,
yeah,
you're like, that guy's obviously Korean.
Han Solo.
Solo.
Han Solo.
Han Solo.
Oh, Han Solo.
Chewy. I thought about naming a dog Chewy.
Choo Choo.
Yeah, I think Chewy's a good dog name.
All right, I got one more regular question and then some fun questions.
All right.
Okay. I don't know how to phrase this.
Okay.
If your dad, let's just say he couldn't work anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
And you had to take over the company tomorrow, could you? Or do you need like some kind of certification?
I do need certs, and I'm working on that this year.
Yeah.
I would need certifications, but I could keep the company afloat until I got those.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Like, how long do you have? Let's say he died.
If he died today, legally, I'd probably be screwed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
You'd keep it going.
yeah, but
Someone might show up.
Yeah, the thing would be like there would be some sort of like I feel like grievance or something, because that would be tragedy or whatever they call it. Is it what do they call it? Just like a emergency death, pretty much.
Yeah.
And after that, I feel like the laws would be lenient, and nobody ever really asks for our certifications except for like
but you would want to get it quick.
Yeah. So that's what I'm working on this year. That was one of the biggest things, because last year my big goal was I want to try and catch up to Dad with everything and be ready to take care of the business at any moment. And that's the last thing on my list, is getting those certs. Everything else I pretty much understand. I still need a little bit more grasp on how the invoices work, but I know how our contracts work. I know how our clients work. I know how he estimates if the system needs to be quarterly, biannually, annually, stuff like that. I've figured all those out, and I've had him teach me those things. So I'm pretty confident with all of that stuff. And Susie is doing the invoicing. And that's my little bit of a weak spot. So together, I feel like we could conquer that too. Mm-hmm. It's just the certs that I need to get, which I've also talked to Susie, and she's going to help me like study for the tests and stuff, because I've taken the first exam 3 times and failed. And the last time sucked so bad, dude, because you have to get a 70 to pass, and I got a 69. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I kind of want to study and like take the test just to see if I could do it.
You probably could, dude. I'm so bad at taking tests. It's the worst. And like, my dad is grade 4. There's 4 fucking grades. That was the first grade that I was trying to pass. I can't fucking pass the first one. How am I supposed to get the 4th one?
Damn.
You only need the first 2, technically, for most systems. But I want to get 4.
You should get 4.
I want to get 4.
Damn. Yeah, we should just do a whole podcast of us studying for that. But it would take too much silent reading. So we should study a little and then make note cards, and then I'll quiz you.
The thing about it is there are textbooks, but the tests, I don't know. It's not like there's no class you can take really. Mm-hmm. There's like exterior classes that'll teach you the topics of what is going to be on the test, but you don't really know which one of these is going to be on the test actually. So,
are they multiple choice?
They're multiple choice.
Really?
Yeah, multiple choice, yeah.
Really?
Yes, I believe so.
Only 4 choices? Like A, B, C, D?
A, B, C, D, E, I think. It's either 4 or 5. But, yeah, man. And the weird thing about it is the last time that I took it, I studied fucking hard. And I was like, I'm going to ace this, like 100%. And where I failed was 2 different categories. One was management, like managing employees. Mm-hmm. I was like, why is that even on this? First off, because this has nothing to do with being a boss. This test doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just being certified in this field.
Right. That's kind of weird.
So I don't know why that was on the test, and that pissed me off. The other thing was chlorine feeders and tab feeders. That's something that I don't ever deal with in the field, and I didn't even think about it. That's another thing. The hardest thing about studying for this is I have to like think about what's going to be on the test and figure all of that out for myself.
I'm surprised there's not like a study guide online.
I know. There's some sort of stuff that kind of helps a little bit. I used Quizlet a lot, and they have certain flashcards that have good information on it, but there's stuff that I know, like I'll get a flashcard. I'll be like, I know this isn't even on the test. Like,
dude, there's gotta be some kind of course.
I wish they would make one. Like, honestly, my dad works with ADOT a lot, and I think one of the biggest things they're trying to do is make courses for that specifically, because they have school for purifying water, which is not what we do.
Yeah.
But it's probably like, I would say you have to get your associates in it, but it's real schooling.
Yeah.
Like it's not a certificate. It's not a what do they call those classes like for engineers and welding?
Trade school.
Trade school.
Yeah.
It's not shit like that, which they should have a trade school for that.
Yeah, it sounds like they should. I mean, I don't know how big that industry is. Like, how many people that work in it need to get a certification?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like it's not that big.
Dude, every time I go take that test, that whole classroom is filled.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So, we could learn that information really well and create a course and sell it. It'd be a little hard marketing. We'd have to find the people that are in that field, because that's not like a thing you can really watch on TikTok. Like, no one's like, oh, do this thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So it'd be hard to find the people, like funnel it to the people to buy it.
Yeah. Or we could even just make YouTube videos of teaching it and then put it on YouTube.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not like, so, because YouTube videos, you want something like millions of people are going to watch and it can keep growing.
Yeah.
This is like a thing people study for once they pass the test and they're done.
Yeah.
So, and it's a way less people.
That's true.
So you would want to create a course that's like $500.
Yeah.
And then they would buy it. It would help them pass the
And
test.
it's like 12, 14 months long or whatever. And then
It'd be like 3 months or something.
Well, I mean, if
per grade, maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You could do like 3 months, and each grade would cost $500.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, they would probably pay for their employees to take the course.
Yeah.
Or, you know, people would tell their friends that were trying to get in the same industry.
Dang.
And it would grow word of mouth.
I think we might need to do this. We might make some money.
It's a little better than
Sounds like a lot
there's
of
other
work.
courses of how to build online courses. Oh, it would be a lot of work, because I'd have to become an expert in it and then come up with a curriculum,
Yeah.
videotape it,
Oh, God.
get all the takes perfectly.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking
Make
work.
sure my teaching is like comes across well, like actually helps people learn easily.
It's like, and that's how you do it. So just do it.
That's a lot of work. So maybe your dad could do it.
My dad would be really good
We
at
could
that.
set up the videos.
Yeah. We would just have to
He would have to
structure
go
it
through
for him.
Yeah, we'd have to structure
The
it.
one thing, because my dad has tried to teach me, and it's not bad. It's just very unorganized how he does
Right.
it, and that's what confuses me.
Teaching's hard. You have to be very
And the other thing is he doesn't know what you don't know,
right.
and he doesn't understand that when teaching you. So he'll teach you half of it, you know, and expect you to already know the first half,
Right.
because how do you not know that? It's
That's a hard thing about
because I
teaching
haven't
people
been
things.
doing this for 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right.
Those are definitely my goals, though.
So, all right, last two questions. These are just fun questions, and we can
questions.
both answer them.
Okay.
All right, if you won $1 million right now,
Mm-hmm.
assuming no taxes, you don't got to pay. You just get a straight million. What would you do with it?
Ooh, that's a good question, man.
Keep in mind, it's not a ton of money.
$1 million, and it's not taxable or anything. It's
Right, you just get a
$1
straight million.
Okay, I think. Shit. Well, first off, I would definitely like. My first thought is I'd buy a property that I can rent out or Airbnb out, like something that's gonna make me a lot of money. So maybe like I might buy like a fucking condominium, like the whole fucking thing.
It can be a small, like a duplex or a triplex.
Yeah, or something like that. Something that would be like $500,000 or less, and then the rest of it I'd probably save. Well, no,
There's no $500,000 duplex
like buying a duplex.
unless you're going to like Alabama to buy it.
Okay, so how much do you think it would be to buy an entire
A duplex in
Duplex.
Phoenix, anywhere from, depends how crappy it is, but probably $750,000 to $1 million.
Damn. That's the stuff I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like pricing on stuff like that. That's crazy. I did not know that at all.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Well, then I might just buy a nice house and rent that out, and then buy another house for myself and have it completely paid off. Make sure everything that I have is paid off, and then there'd be a good chunk of that that's just going straight into saving for sure.
Yeah. Well, if you bought a house to rent out and a house to buy, you're out of money.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh, yeah, probably. Fuck, huh?
That's probably all of it,
Well,
which is not a terrible way to spend it.
yeah, it's not a bad way to do it. I'm trying to think though, because my main thing was I would want that money to make me more money.
Yeah.
That's why I would buy another house for somebody to
I would say
rent out.
if I got the mail or if I was you, kind of similar situation.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got the mail, I would just pay this house off.
Yeah.
That would leave me with $500,000 left. And then I would just invest that. I would just throw it in the stock market, in a mutual fund, like that I'm not going to touch for the next 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And just let it gain interest. And then by the time I retire, let me see. So $500,000. Let me see. 7. So if you put your money in good mutual funds that get like 8 to 12% a year, it should double every 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So what am I? So when I'm 36, it would be $1 million. And then when I'm 43, it would be $2 million. And then 50 would be $4 million. 57, it would be $8 million. So you'd be good, just based on that $500,000 in the market.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah. So So I'd just pay this house off and then invest the rest.
Man.
So, but if you were to buy a rental house, let's say you could get $2,500 a month for your rent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you spent $500,000 on that house too.
Yeah.
I have to do the math, but it'd be a lot less of a return. So I'd probably put it in the market.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. But a house is safer because it's always paying you. It's got that cash flow every month. So you're getting, $2,500 minus whatever the taxes are.
It's more of a consistent income,
so it's
which is nice.
It's more guaranteed.
Yeah.
And you could just put that rental income into the market.
Mm-hmm.
And then, over time, the house value will go up, but I don't think it would become $8 million by the time you're 53.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing. I think one of the things that I'd probably look into is like buying a fixer-upper that I can renovate myself, but in a good location. Like if I could find like kind of a rundown house in Scottsdale and it's still like a good neighborhood, this is just the scar of the neighborhood, buy that house, fix it up, freaking rent that thing out. Because then you could buy it for... It's probably like 300,000, maybe.
Yeah, fixer-uppers are hard too, though.
They're hard to find, and they're also hard to renovate if you don't know what you're doing.
If you don't know what you're doing, and more things could go wrong with it. Mm-hmm. Like the older the house is,
Yeah.
like you're taking a real big risk.
Yeah.
I'd probably just buy one that is good. And
you think
just
so?
rent out.
Just no hassle.
If you just had the cash for it, yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
If you just won $1 million and you could just.
Another thought I thought about is like, honestly, if I took that money, I bought me a house that I love and I could live in for the rest of my life.
Right.
I made sure, I had the vehicle that I wanted and Lael has the vehicle she wants. That's like my main priority.
Yeah.
And if I can conquer that, that's good.
You'd also be good there too because you would never have a mortgage and you never have a payment. So all your extra money you could invest.
Yeah.
And you'd wind up in around the same place.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying though, is like even if at the end of that I didn't have any money to invest, I still think I'd be happy with that just because I'm set, especially for a long time.
Right.
I already have my job and all this stuff that I'm making other money. Obviously, that's not going to go away. So living the way I am, but now I just get a house and new vehicles.
Right.
Sounds pretty nice to me.
Right. That's great. If you just pay your house off and you still have your job, and there's no money left over to invest, but you still can invest way more than you could have because, you had to pay rent or a mortgage before.
Yeah, exactly.
So now you got $2-3 a month that you can invest.
And then I could save that up and put it into something else.
Right. And then the other question, what if you won $1 billion?
Oh,
what would you do with it?
$1 billion.
All right, I'll go first on this one.
Okay.
So billion's a lot. No taxes.
Man.
I mean, it's pretty simple. Basically, what I would do first is I would make a list of all the people that are getting money.
Yeah.
You would get money.
Okay.
All my family would get money.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't give them money. I would pay off their debts.
Yeah.
And then set up a trust fund that's invested and would pay them however much per year.
Man.
Let's say we put 10 million in each. So they're all going to get about $400,000 a year in income permanently, but they can't touch that initial 10 million.
Yeah.
That way they never run out of money.
That's crazy.
And they have to sign something saying I will never go into debt again.
Man, that's pretty cool. I think I might go a little bit different with that. Definitely, I think I would probably what you said. I'd take care of everybody's debt. I'd pay off everything I could for everybody. And then with the rest of the money, I'd probably do something like buy everybody a cruise or something. Like,
Oh yeah, you can do
know,
that
I'd be
easy.
like, you want to go to Japan? Here's a fucking $1 million. Go to Japan.
Yeah.
You know, that's plenty enough money to go to Japan and have fun, you know, or whatever, you know. And I probably also thought about this a while ago, but I would not choose the gift. Like, I wouldn't be like, you're going on this cruise.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you want to go to Japan or do you want to go to Ireland or whatever? You go do what you want. Here's $1 million. Go travel. You know, but I don't think I would give them the money up front. I think that I'd buy the trip for them and then have maybe like, what they're going to need money on the trip though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's why.
It's just concerning on certain people that I do care about, and I know I would want to give them something. I know they're not good with money.
That's why I set my thing up.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people that are so bad with money. They love debt. So if I set the trust fund up, they can't touch the trust fund.
Yeah.
They can only touch the income that comes from the investments.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
So like 10 million, if you withdraw 3% a year or 4%,
Yeah.
it should give you 4% a year invested in mutual funds, safe and bonds.
Yeah.
If you get 4% a year, that's 400 grand income per year, and that 10 million stays 10 million. So I would set the trust funds up like that because I know people in my life, if I gave them 10 million, they would buy fucking everything and they'd be broke in like no time.
Yeah.
But they definitely don't make 400 grand now. So their life would improve so much.
Yeah.
They could go on any trip they want. They could do anything.
That's kind of sad to think about, man. It's like people that are like that are kind of like the people I'm thinking of specifically would take that. They wouldn't take it for granted, you know, like they would be like, oh, thanks for this $1 million. I'm going to go fuck off and do all this stupid shit that you don't want me to do with this money.
And then blow it.
Yeah. And it's like,
And then they would come back and ask for more.
Yeah. And they wouldn't even acknowledge the fact that you just gave them all this money. Like they wouldn't be grateful or anything.
You think so?
I think certain people,
But
you know, they wouldn't think about it. Like I'm sure in their head, they're like grateful, but they would never say it out loud or like even think about saying it because obviously he knows I'm grateful. So why would I have to say it?
Damn.
You know, kind
What
of
is
stuff
your
like that.
Jeez.
No, my dad would cry his eyes out if I gave him that money.
I feel like everyone I know
Dude, my
would
dad
be super
today,
grateful.
This is like way off topic, but
that's fine.
my dad today, I called him and I told him that the due date for the baby is August 8th, which is freaking hilarious because his birthday is August 6th. My dad is almost exactly 30 years older than me, and I'm going to be 30 the next month after that baby's born. So it's gonna be 30 and 30. I was like, isn't that weird? And he's like, what are we? Some sort of family timeline?
What the hell? So so your birthdays would be switched. Because you were born in September, your dad was born in August.
Yep.
No, you're the dad.
So my kid's son is gonna be in September. Probably.
It just switches.
Yeah.
Imagine for like 100 generations.
That'd
it
be
just
so
switches.
funny. But one thing my dad told me when we were talking, he was like, I wish, you know, I had the relationship with my dad that I had with you. Because I love my dad to death. My dad has always been a really great dad. And back in those days, you weren't allowed to like show affection to a kid like that. You know, you can't be playing with him or tickling him or like throwing him around or
his
whatever.
dad?
Yeah. And I was like, well, Grandpa was good to you though, right? Like he told you he loved you and then he's proud of you and all that stuff. He's like, yeah, but he just was never around. He would always go do his own things, you know, and never be around the kids and never play with the kids. And I was like, dang, dude.
Yeah,
that's
that was super
crazy.
common.
Yeah.
Dads just like went to work.
Mm-hmm.
They came home and they got the belt out if they needed to.
Yeah, I know.
If you did bad stuff that day.
It's crazy, man.
And now guys and girls are almost the same. Like they play like about the same role.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, playing with kids is completely normal.
They have a
and
different role, but like
Yeah.
they're both equally involved.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. The dad used to not be so emotionally involved, I feel like. And now it's very much both parents need to be emotionally involved with their child.
That's weird.
It's kind of fucked up to think like your dad's not emotionally involved with you. That's not the case with my grandpa. He was he loved his kids. He just was that old school mentality. Oh yeah.
I bet it was like.
And his dad probably beat him with the fucking stick, you know?
Yeah.
Like, And you don't see that. Well, you do see that sometimes, but they go to fucking jail for it.
He's like, I love you, Daisy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, go pick out a switch, boy.
Dude, my great grandma, she was married to my great grandpa,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess to her and to all the kids, so they would say I love you to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he would just say,
Yeah,
like
that kind of shit.
forever.
That's crazy, man. That's how my other grandpa was. My other grandpa, because both my grandpas are Vietnam vets.
Yeah.
But one was like actually in it. The other one was reserve. So I feel like being reserved kind of saved some of his humanity.
Probably.
My other grandpa was just like, man, he was like a drill instructor, dude. It was horrible. Like, not horrible. I don't want to say that because
That's crazy.
I cared about him a lot. But
I feel like everything was tougher back then.
oh,
like,
yeah.
people were tougher.
Oh, man. People are so fucking soft now. It's
Oh, yeah.
so funny to see. And another thing that cracks me up is like kids, like young men now trying to prove how tough they are with their fucking perm and their dangly earring.
Mhm.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, yeah, I'm an alpha. You're like, no, you're a bitch, dude.
But dude, that was the same.
Go to war,
Like,
then tell me something.
That was exactly the same in our generation. I mean,
Yeah,
we're
every-
basically the same generation almost.
Well, it's because we didn't have. No, actually, you know what? Our generation was a little bit different because we had 9/11. 9/11 fucked us up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't make us tougher.
It did, well, the people that went to war did.
Yeah, the people that were like 18, but we were like 6.
Yeah. Okay. People that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We were like right after that, though. So maybe. Yeah, we definitely did have those people in our generation. Don't get me wrong. For sure. And I feel like each generation we've gotten more and more comfortable.
Not even
and
generations, just every year
yeah.
we've gotten more pansy,
Yeah. It's because it's time of peace. Time of peace creates soft men.
I guess.
Soft men create war.
Everything's easy.
War creates hard men. That's the cycle of history.
Well, it's not necessarily
Or the
just
cycle of
war.
men in
It's
history.
the cycle of economics
Yeah.
and war.
Yeah.
But I don't see there
Crazy,
ever
man.
being hard men again unless there's like a nuclear war.
I think the only hard men are the men that are trained by other hard men how to be hard, when to be hard.
SEALs.
You know? Yeah. I mean, like when I was in Boy Scouts, all of the leaders were either former military or like a cop or stuff like that, or just like good old country boys that know how to survive in the wilderness. And then we would go camping, and our troop was so much different than all these other troops. And it was always LDS troops, Mormon troops. And we'd go on camping trips, and we would see like all of us had to have our uniforms perfect. Like your gig line has to be perfect, all this stuff. And you'd see another troop, and this kid's shirt's untucked, his buttons are undone. He's like, his fat's rolling out of his freaking shirt, and he's on his Game Boy with the soda like spilling all over his uniform. And that was the difference between us. And I think that's a huge thing of like growing up. When you grow up with people that can show you structure on how to be a man, you're going to learn how to be a tough man, and you're also going to learn how to be a good man, you know, because these men have been through it and they can teach you how to do that. Now, they can't teach you how to fight in war, sure, but you're going to be a lot more prepared than that fucking chubby motherfucker.
Yeah, it all comes down to your parents.
Yeah.
And like role models in your life and stuff.
Definitely.
Because, you know, there's a difference between like being hard,
Mhm.
like you could like, you know, fight someone with a knife.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's like just being a responsible, good person, you know,
Yeah.
or being a lazy fucking slob.
Yeah.
But it sucks because it all comes, like a lot of it comes down to your parents. Once you're an adult, it's your responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you were trained to be a lazy piece of shit, but you can overcome that now.
Yeah.
And if you don't, that is your fault.
Yeah.
And yeah, you did have an advantage if you grew up with great parents that like taught you, you know, how to eat, how to get up early, how to make your bed, how to stay in sports, how to be responsible, get things done on time.
Yeah.
Or you grew up with fucking trailer trash, eating ramen,
Yeah.
fucking sit on the couch, gain 600 pounds,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And everyone has like a different, you know, there's like one side and it's all like a
It's a spectrum. For sure.
spectrum. Because I grew up somewhere in the middle, like didn't have a dad. Mom was like poor. Definitely taught me how to be a loving, nice person, you know, and taught me right from wrong,
Yeah.
but didn't teach me how to work hard. like work ethic and type
Yeah.
of stuff. And then as an adult, I had to figure that out on my own.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is another wraparound to parenthood of like, you have to think about those things when you're going through your own stuff. You got to remember how it affects your child.
Yeah.
You know, and the things that you need to teach that child. That's one of the biggest things I've been thinking about is everything that I need to teach my child for sure. Like I know that like Aiden, I'm going to start having him camping with me and teach him how to build fires and stuff. Just stuff like that. That's like, yeah, it's survival. Will he ever really need to use it? Maybe not, but it's nice to have.
But it's just kind of hard and to do it anyway.
Yeah. And to learn how to do it and suffer through nature. That's like, man.
Or suffer through anything.
For young boys, going camping and dealing with weather and dealing with these things that you cannot control is such a good lesson for kids, especially nowadays because they're just super glued to the fucking screens and they're indoors all day long. They don't understand that you can be miserable and still survive. You know, they've just been comfortable always.
Yeah, we're too comfortable all the time.
Oh, man. That's why I like camping.
And
That's
most of the
why I
time
like
it doesn't
doing stuff
matter.
like that.
You know, because most of life you could be comfortable.
Yeah, you can sit on the couch all day long and live your life like that. We've lived in a time of peace for
But then you become miserable.
fucking forever.
Anyone I know who like has never worked hard because they can't suffer at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they have zero sacrifice.
Yeah.
They end up with crappy jobs. They don't make any money.
Yeah.
They're not proud of themselves.
Yeah.
They're fucking depressed.
And that's a lot like mostly men, I would say.
Yeah, men are affected by that a lot more.
Yeah, because men, I feel like by nature we naturally feel like we need to have a purpose.
Yep.
We need to be doing something, working towards something and making something happen.
You have to work towards something that you can be proud of.
And it makes men feel good. And when you sit on a couch and you're lazy all day and then you don't realize, like, you're like, I don't know why I'm so depressed.
Yeah.
That's why, man, because you don't have a purpose. You're not making a goal for yourself to work for.
I would say women probably
probably
similar
go through that too. Yeah.
Definitely similar. I don't think any human can like not do anything and not get depressed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just know how
But men
like,
definitely
men are
do
just
have
so,
like an inherent need to
provide
and like work hard.
And I think it's because I might be wrong on this, but I think men are more prideful than women are. And I think that has to do a lot with that.
Yeah. I think women need to work towards something, but maybe don't have the same level of need to like, I don't know, achieve as much and that's like their self-worth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Men, they're like, I make $100,000 a year. I'm worth something.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy to me. It's like one thing that is hard for me to understand now. Not hard for me to understand. It's just more like I don't have a full grasp of how women think anymore, is because back in the day it was, I'm going to find a man who can provide for me and I'm going to take care of his family. And that's my role. Now it's like I'm going to go get a job.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a career. So I don't like, I guess that's why I don't understand how how women work, is because there used to be a structure and now it's do whatever the fuck you want. And which is nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, I don't know.
I think the
how
roles changed out of necessity because.
Well, yeah, they did, because back in World War II, the women had to take over the jobs because there was no men in the country.
Well, that too. But then inflation, like,
point.
Could you take care of Lael, her kid, and your kid if she didn't work?
Yeah, I mean,
like if you had to have your own apartment.
I mean,
what would you do? Would you get like an extra job or something?
I could, and I wouldn't, like, in my mind, there's nothing I can't do to not provide for those people. Whatever I have to do,
I'm sure you wouldn't let them starve. But let's say your income stays exactly the same.
Yeah.
And hers is gone.
As of right now, I could take care of them, but it's not going to be the life I want to live.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Like,
I'm going to be living in a
1-bedroom
apartment kind of scenario.
You're like, we're going to not die.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll have food, but we're not getting eaten gourmet, and we're all sleeping in the same bedroom. So, yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it'll make it closer.
We'll be closer. This is bonding.
We slept with mom and dad till we were 24.
Yeah. I slept with my mom like till I was probably like 4 or 5. How about you, Aiden?
Yeah, but I would say like that's the case for like 90%
Oh yeah,
of people.
yeah.
They can't survive on one income
No,
now.
no, and that's just how inflation is.
Yeah.
That's what inflation has come to. Is like you have to have 2 people or more in the household to help you.
I thought it was
provide.
crazy. I took an economics class
Mm-hmm.
when I went to college for 10 seconds. And it was crazy reading one of the textbooks, and it said like I think it was 1950 or something.
Mm-hmm.
The average household income was $36,000 a year, and that was just a man working. A woman didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And then in like 2000 whatever, like pretty recently,
Mm-hmm.
it's only like 70 grand now or something if both people work.
Oh,
You know
I was
what I mean?
like 70 grand is average.
If both people work,
But both
a
people, that
household
makes
income,
sense.
yeah.
Which is like both of them make the same
Right.
as back then.
Back then.
Yeah,
And
that's
back then,
crazy.
the 36 grand would get you a house. It would get you 2 cars. It would get you anything you need.
Yep.
Now 36 grand is like a pretty crap. Like you're poor.
That's so crazy. Now you make the same amount of money and everything is so much more expensive.
If you live alone, 36 grand, and then let's say your rent in Phoenix, it's not going to be 1,000, but let's say it's 1,000 for a studio. Okay.
Let's be nice.
That's a third
Yeah.
of all your money, and that's not including taxes.
Yeah.
So it's probably closer to like 70%.
Which,
Or like 50%.
yeah, and you're not able to rent anything unless you make, I think it's
Like
triple.
3 times. Yeah, something like that.
Which is crazy to me. I think that's a really stupid fucking rule.
I mean,
but-
it's a good rule actually
I
because
understand
it
it.
stops people from like overextending themselves, and it also depends on your debt to income ratio.
yeah.
But
I feel like it should be more based off of your credit score, honestly,
yeah,
because that's a record of your payment.
it's true. It's like you'll probably make your payments,
You know.
but it also kind of helps that people, because you don't want to spend half your income on housing.
That's true. Yeah.
You definitely don't want to spend 80% on housing. So it's
Switch
kind of
80%.
good that they do that because
Mm-hmm.
like the good rule, if you're like being super financially responsible, is 25%
Yeah.
of your income.
Yeah.
Like no more than that should be spent on rent or a mortgage payment, which is kind of usually takes 2 people.
Yeah, dude.
If you combine you and Lael, I'm sure 25% is like
the price
anywhere you want to live almost.
Oh man. Oh yeah, definitely. Like, and that's what I told her too. Is like, if we have to rent, that's fine. I'm not worried about renting right now. We can figure our finance out when we start living together and get everything situated.
Yeah.
And then once we get that figured out, then we can figure out a game plan on what we want to do future in our life. Like if we want to move. Like obviously I want to have own my house. I
Yeah.
don't want to rent anymore.
Right.
But if I have to like build up my plan, then that's fine.
Yeah, you want to rent for a while.
Yeah.
And it's housing, there's a lot of extra costs beyond just the mortgage because you have to fix everything.
Yeah.
So like if you rent,
Yeah.
something breaks, you're just like, hey, landlord, fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you buy your house, it's like you got the mortgage plus it costs like about another, I think it's like 25% a year of like you can add on top of the mortgage for like
Yeah.
repairs and crap.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and you got to save now 20% down. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's crazy.
well, you don't need 20% down. You need like 5%, but
Yeah. But well, for first time house owners, they have the programs
You can do
which help
3%.
you. But from what I've heard, it's after that it is 20%. But I don't know if that's a real thing.
I think it used to be, but it's not anymore.
Oh, okay.
Because I got a conventional loan this time,
Yeah.
and I didn't put 20%. I put like
Was it 10%?
10 or something like
Yeah.
that. But it used to be a conventional loan, you had to put 20%.
Yeah.
But now, not anymore. They can add PMI on it.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't want private mortgage insurance, you have to put 20%.
Okay.
So if I have private mortgage insurance right now, it's like a $100 a month or something on top of my mortgage. It's like it's not regular homeowners insurance. It's like to save the bank in case I get foreclosed and then my house is worth less than I
it's like
paid
an
for it.
extra cushion for the bank.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
make sure that it's worth what
Yeah.
they loaned you. So if I put another 30 grand down toward my mortgage, I can get that PMI taken off.
Okay.
But yeah, it used to be 20%, I think,
That's crazy,
but it
dude.
changed.
That's so crazy.
But anyway, this is getting long.
Oh,
What do you guys think of Nick having a kid?
We're all like tired now. It's really late tonight. That's why we're like kind of
Later than
drifting off a
usual.
little bit. Yeah.
But that is good for the lighting because we didn't have that stupid light coming
It
through
is,
anymore.
it is nice. That is nice. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, because I never put what are they called?
The
Curtains.
blinds. Yeah,
Yeah, I
curtains.
never put curtains. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Go check out the Amigos React channel on YouTube. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Nick should name his baby, and the best name will win.
Yeah, listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts too,
If you want.
because we're on there.
But you probably want to see it on here because you can see our face. So.
Yeah, our super handsome faces.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Adios, amigos.